What is up, guys? We're doing something a little bit different today. I've got my track workout on the whiteboard. I'm going to go through it and then we're going to get some footage of me actually doing it and sort of some of the things that I'm going through when I'm on the track. I've started doing these track workouts for the last sort of 10 to 12 weeks now, and I'm really starting to enjoy them. The focus for me has been mainly on explosive power, because I do incorporate some plyometric stuff, some jumps, some bounds, some leaps and stuff like that. And at the end I've got a cool little conditioning thing that I do as well. And if you've got a track near you, this might be something you want to try out. Typically takes me about an hour or so in total. Great calorie burner, good bit of fun, gets you outside, and it's a little bit different. Not a lot of people do it, and I think that's what sort of has that sort of unique factor about it. So anyway, so we're going to focus on the warm-up and the mobility. 10 to 15 minutes focusing on getting that heart rate increased, as well as some dynamic stretches. So best way to think about dynamic stretches is they're stretches that are moving, getting your body mobilized for exercise. We'll go straight into exercise 1, which I will actually do next to the track, which is just on the grass bit in between, which will be starting on my knees and going into vertical jumps. So straight from the knees onto toes and then bounding up in the air for 4 sets of 6. Going into exercise 2, which is hurdles. I'll set out 3 hurdles on the track and I'll leap over each one, boom, 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 and do that for 4 sets. We then go into the first lot of sprints. So the first sprinting exercise is, it's about 15 yards. The distances are basically, it's a short, a medium, and then we've got the longer one. So on the short distance, which is about 10 to 15 yards, we're focusing on the immediate fast twitch off the line as fast as you can, getting up to full speed and then going back down here. So just getting up to that quick speed as fast as possible. We're then going on to about 60 yards, maybe about 50 or so meters, where we're not necessarily focusing on how quickly we get off the line, but we're getting up to that top end speed and then holding it right to the end of the line. And then finally, the absolute killer is 6 lots of 400 meters, and at the end of each 400 meters you rest for 2 minutes, and that is an absolute killer, but it's in the best way possible. And then finally we'll head back here and we'll do a little bit of a cool down and a stretch. 10 minutes mainly focusing on static stretches and mainly focusing on those hamstrings, because they will be fried. So I hope you enjoy the video. We'll get some content, we'll get some little pointers in there when I'm at the track. All right, and we have started the journey to the track. I feel really fortunate that the track is so close to me, and I feel like it's one of those things where you never realize you like something until it's so close to you on your doorstep. And now I do honestly believe that if I were to move further away, I would take the time to travel to come to the track now. It's so lovely running on a track. If you're not a massive runner, and I have to say, it's only recently in these last sort of 20 weeks or so that I've been doing hashtag run for not from, which is the main sort of like part of my channel. That I've really sort of fell in love with running a bit more. But these have helped massively, because if you don't like running on grass or in parks or through anything, try it on a track. And if you're not a massive fan of long distance running, which I wasn't too sure that I would be either, because traditionally I like the sprinting side of things more, do some sprint workouts and you really do get that buzz for running again. And it's so nice running on a track. So I do feel very fortunate that it is as close by as it is, and you get to walk through a lovely park like this to get there right on my doorstep. So I feel very privileged, I have to say. So if your track's not very close to you, this might not be the sort of video for you, but regardless, I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the sort of program that I've created for this workout, and you'll be able to do it in a park or around a lake or even on a treadmill if you had to, but we'll see. I'm starting off by just taking off my shoes and socks, because I like to do a warm up barefoot, and I do it on the grass next to the track. And then I'll also lead into that first exercise where I'm doing from the knees into the explosive jumps. But I've done the walk here. It is boiling hot. I don't know why I'm wearing this, so I'm definitely going to be taking this off at some point. But the main thing that I'm doing now is dynamics. So I'm getting things moving, starting from the bottom to the top, starting from the bottom now here. So starting at the calves, just getting them moving, and then I'll go into opening up the hips, a bit of a football or soccer one. And I'll do these for longer, by the way, but then I'll go into some hamstring kicks, really getting everything mobile. And one of my favorite things to be doing at the moment especially is when we're trying to sort of train for that explosiveness, kicking out. So I've extended the leg, really feeling it in the hamstring, just giving that impression of keeping the tear of the ground underneath you, when you're trying to do those sprints, if you get what I'm saying. And I usually do these when I'm moving, so traveling through, kicking through, just getting everything warm, about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'd also do a light jog around the track just to get my heart rate up as well. And that leads us on very nicely to that first exercise. So we're starting on our knees, okay? And what we're starting off with, the first initial movement is to the feet, and then coming all the way through, trying to get as high as we possibly can. With plyometrics, there's no giving half-assing it 50%. Every single rep, you're going for everything. For 6. I like to look up as well. If you're looking down at your feet, it's not going to help you at all. Your feet are always going to be there. Look up to where you're going. And try not to do what I just did there, which is coming forward. Trying to focus all that energy up. Rest, and then we'll repeat it another 4 times, 3 times maybe. We are working our way through the exercises and I am already far too hot. This layer was a mistake, so mainly for continuity purposes, I'm taking it off on camera so you don't think I've filmed these on different days. And get you someone who matches their whoop to their shoes. That's goals right there. One thing you don't want to let creep up on you is dehydration. So make sure you're drinking a shed load of water out here. It's not even too hot, but it's humid. I think it's about 19, 20 degrees, maybe a little bit more. But it's humid. And so I'm already feeling myself sweating a little bit. And we've already done the first exercise, and that was some knees to verticals. So we're gonna get the hurdles out in a sec. I'll do some fun stuff with that. Hopefully I don't fall on my face, even though it might improve the views. Worth it for the craft. That concludes the portion where we haven't got shoes and socks on. My feet are a little bit dirty. That's okay, some people are sort of into that shit, aren't they? We ain't shaming people here. You can be whatever you want to be. You can like whatever you want to like. You can lick whatever you want to lick. Within reason. Okay, let's not get off topic. All right, so now I'm going to be going into exercise 2, which is the hurdles. So I'm going to set up 3 hurdles, all at the same height, and the aim is to jump over each of them and not to stop in between each one. Boom, 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 continuous. Okay, I don't want to be stopping. If I'm stopping, I'm starting again. And again, we're just going to do it 6 times. So if you think about it, it's almost 3 jumps, so 3 reps, 4 sets, quick, explosive, get over it, use the whole body, drive forward, use that momentum, use your arms coming forward, train like an athlete. Let's just get it done. Okay, so next exercise, got it all set up now. Gonna make them a little bit higher. We're going straight into some bounds over. We don't want to be stopping at all, so we don't want to be over each one going stop, stop, go again. We want to bound, bound, bound. So we get that explosivity. If you're looking to train more like an athlete, you've got to be doing stuff like this. And, you know, that fast twitch stuff, not just all lifting weights. You've got to start using your own body weight and doing stuff a bit more explosive. We might move things a little bit closer as well. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing some broad jumps as well as high jumps. Right, let's get into it. So bounce, 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 bounce. Not bad. Not bad. I'm clearing them easy. I'd like to be a little bit sharper and quicker, but not bad. From watching that back, I think 2 things are prevalent. I need to move a little bit closer, so it's more immediately up and down, and I could probably go 1 higher, but I'm a little bit nervous. but I'm definitely going to move them a little bit closer together, for sure. We'll do one more set like this and we'll see how it feels. We're only doing 4 sets in total, so I don't want to overkill it before we get into the sprint stuff. That's better. That's better. That's speedier. Moving it just that little bit closer, watching the footage back, making those small adjustments. Don't be afraid to make those small adjustments. Watch it back. You may not be posting your stuff anywhere, but recording stuff is important. And I feel like a lot of people in gyms and in places like that don't film for fear of being a wannabe influencer, which I certainly am. But you do watch your back for your own sort of like credibility and look back and see how far you've come and what things you want to change and adjust. You may even have a coach that you want to use. So if you're interested in coaching as well. Shameless plug. So we've got one more set on the hurdles before we move on to the actual sprinting of stuff. What's really also good about starting off with some plyometric stuff is it continues to warm you up. You know, start using exercises that are actually leading into the main part of the workout. If you're one of those people who just doesn't find the value in warming up, because there is so much value in warming up for longevity, for performance, for everything. If you're not warming up, I don't want to be cruel and I don't want to be like mean and say it, but you're not training properly, and you're just training like a bit of an idiot, in all honesty, and not thinking clearly. Train smarter, not always just harder. Obviously you want to give 100%, but doing something for 100% and just breaking your body apart, what's the point? Now we're on to the fun stuff. So we're feeling warm, we're feeling fresh, even though I did leg day yesterday, which wasn't probably the smartest idea. But we'll move on to the sprints now. This is 6 reps? I think it's 6 times, really focusing on the start, pushing off. I'd like to change legs, starting one leg forward, then next rep starting the next. Main focus is getting up to top speed as fast as humanly possible. And then once we hit that top speed, we stop. Okay, there's no point in holding on to that top speed. That's the next set exercise, okay? So typically I like to take about 10 large paces back, and then I'll set up where it is, and then hopefully cross the line round about here. And that's the main focus. Just pushing through, exhaling all that air, getting rid of all that energy, pushing it into the floor. My technique might not be the best. There might be some sprinters watching and thinking, what the hell is he doing? But it's working for me and I'm enjoying it. And I hope that sort of comes through on the video, and maybe you guys want to start doing it as well. But we're going to repeat that now. I'll look at my phone. I think it's about 7 times more. Changing feet, right leg forward, left leg forward. Trying to simulate if I was playing on the football pitch. You don't know which leg you're taking off on. So I'm just going to repeat that now. So it's 8 times, in fact. This is going to kill the hamstrings. Oh well. So again, I am resting in between each for no more than about 2 minutes on these really quick ones, because the amount of work I'm putting in, it's lasting less than 3 seconds, isn't it? I'm traveling so quickly for it, that over such a short distance, not saying I'm the Flash, such a short distance I should say, that I don't need to be resting that long. And I'm really just trying to get that match fitness again for all sorts of sports, that explosivity. So I'm going to repeat, and when I next see you, we'll be doing the longer range sort of sprinting, where we go 60 or so yards back, maybe about half the track, and it's not about necessarily getting to the top speed the quickest, but once we get there, after about 5 or 6 strides, holding it and pushing it right to the finish line. So the top's come off. It's a bit hot and bothered. We are going to change it up a little bit. Instead of doing 60 yards, we're going to do the full 100 meters. Maybe only 4 times instead of 6. We'll see. And then we'll keep the 400 meter runs at the end for the conditioning side of things with 2 minutes rest. So just making my way down to the other side of the track. You forget how long 100 meters is, and you have such an appreciation for the people who do it professionally in under 10 seconds. It's a much longer distance than you think. Okay, so that's one lot of 100 meters done in replacement of the 60 or so yards. Gonna rest for 2 minutes. I'm gonna repeat it 3 times. So again, not working on that immediacy off the line, but getting to that top speed, then holding that top speed right into the end. So when we get into that finish line, it's a little bit of a struggle. And then finally we'll go into my favorite. Been bigging it up so much, but I actually live up to it. We're going to be doing 4 lots of 400 meters, 2 minutes rest in between, and I'll be a heap on the floor by the end. But why wouldn't you love this? You're outside, you've got the track to yourself. Blessed is what I am. Okay, that's the 100 meter portion done, and my hamstrings and my glutes are on fire. Really feeling that. And now it's the 400s. I'm gonna take a bit of rest before I go into them, as the aim for all 4 is to be under a minute. Now obviously they progressively get slower, clearly, as you're fatigued, but the aim is to get a minute underneath, under a minute for all of them. So let's see how we go. So this is going to be interesting, because my first one was 54 seconds, which is for me slow, and it's going to get it harder for me. My legs were really giving out in that last 30 meters. These 3 are going to be hard. I've just realized this again on the program. I'm supposed to be doing 6 of these 400 meters. 6. I don't know what I was smoking when I decided that was a good idea, but fuck it, we'll go for 6 then, why not? Oh my God. That was just over a minute. Do you want to know the thing that I absolutely love about these track days? Is even though I know I'm getting fitter, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting faster, it's so up to your 100%. You give your 100%, everyone is equal when it comes to the track. Whereas with weights and stuff like that, everyone sees the weight you're lifting. Everyone knows how many reps you're doing. They could be counting, they could be looking. Whereas this is just, you go into this weird sort of meditative state. And also, in terms of working hard and just giving 100% and training to failure, I don't think many people could not train to failure here. Do you know what I mean when that, like, you can always leave an extra rep in the tank, you can always go, but when you see that finish line approaching, something, it's almost primal, sort of like this weird sort of instinct, you've got to push for the line. You have just got to push for the finish line. 1 foot in front of the other. Keep going, keep fasting, dip that head. I don't care who you're competing against, it's just competing against yourself. There's no one fecking here, but just giving your 100%. Just love it. That concludes the 6th 400 meters. That was a slow one. 1:15 or 16 or something like that. So now that concludes the track part. I'm gonna head back home. I'm gonna start those stretches. Just 10 minutes, that's all I'm gonna do. 10 minutes of stretches, everyone can do that. Hamstring focused, maybe a little bit focused on hips as well. Some glutes, but we'll see there. And finally, when we get back home, we're gonna do some static stretches. Like I said in the track, we're mainly focusing on hamstrings, glutes, a little bit of hips. But then I'm also going to get a hockey ball, or you can use a Theragun if you've got one, or a roller for some self-myofascial release. But I'll do that a bit in the end. But what I start off with is simply just getting to my toes and holding everything for about 10 to 15, sometimes 20 seconds each. And this is just 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. You can play your music, you can do whatever effect you want, you can watch the TV if you want. But since I've started doing this after sprint days, after runs, recovery is just so much quicker. So your body will thank you for it. After I've done that, next one is I bring my right leg up to my left knee. I bring my left foot round here and I hug in my knee, and you'll feel a nice stretch from the glute into the hip, right across the back of the hamstring as well. Then obviously we'll repeat on the other side. Get that leg round. My knees are always a problem area for me. Ever since I injured my left knee playing football about 2.5 years ago, left and right knee have been problematic. It's sort of runs in my family a little bit, so I do a lot of prehab and rehab on them to make sure that they are as fresh as they can be for as long as they can be. Right, once I get there, this is where it gets a little bit dicey. We're gonna keep the left leg down, we're gonna straighten out the right leg, drop back, and again, trying to get that heel to touch the back of the glute, but then holding that stretch on the hamstring. And keep breathing and relax as much as you can, try not to fight it. If this is too much, you can be here, start here, gradually with the hand, go lower, 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 but it is up to you. And then we'll switch to the other side. Now this knee is the one that's, even though it's my right knee, it's been playing me up recently. So I'm going to take my own advice, lower, 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 and then hold it. See how I've got a bit of gap there on this one. Lovely stuff. Now I'm going to start getting into the calves a little bit, get that ball in. You can do it with your fingers, but having something to really dig into it helps. And it don't half hurt either. Again, all parts of the muscle, find that little point of tension and then really work into it there. Really dig into it. Go all the way through the calf. Switch sides. So I hope you've enjoyed that little track session. I do it once a week. If I can't get onto the track, it'll be hills, stuff like that, and I will get my plyometrics on boxes. You'll see on my Instagram, which is at Nathan Shaw Life as well. Me doing some stuff with plyo boxes, some bounds, some leaps there. So I always get that sort of stuff in because I'm really enjoying it, and I'm actually seeing the benefit in my squats and in my deadlifts because my hamstrings have been really blowing up recently. So I'm definitely going to keep doing it. It's helped the weather's been good. Helps obviously that the track is right next to my house, but we're going to keep doing it for as long as we can, and also it makes for lovely content, I have to say. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this. It's now time to refuel, get some good food in, and we're having some steak and grilled vegetables, so perhaps you'll see a little bit of that as well. Before we cut off, I'm going to show you, because I'm proud of them, the steaks that we've got. M&S's finest, beautiful. Got 2 of them bad boys, and we've got some grills. We're going to grill some chunky Mediterranean style veg. which I'm going to put on the grill. There's also some chips. I'm not going to have any chips. However, you think, oh, he's being good, he's being good. No, it's not that I'm being good. It's because I'm saving room for this bad boy. Because if you work hard, you've got to play hard. And it's caramelized biscuit sticky buns, which basically means they're Biscoff because they just can't take the ownership. And I've got Haagen-Dazs, is it Haagen-Dazs? Vanilla ice cream. And so I'm gonna carb up on that shit. So you might get a picture of me or check on the Instagram of everything there. But thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do a few more of these workout style things with the whiteboard where I'll go through what I'm going to do in my workout, get a few snippets and a few shots. I'm on a week's holiday at the moment, so I'm going to try and really fill in some content because I'm really enjoying doing this. And they won't all be fitness related. There might be some sort of creative stuff. I'm going to be doing some musical instrument stuff, some writing, preparing for my business opening, stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time.